With the Minnesota Twins, and tonight it's special. Kings Court's in session. Felix Hernandez on the mound tonight against Jason Marquis. Welcome everybody to Mariner Baseball from Safeco Field here in Seattle, Washington. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers with you. So glad to have you with us. Welcome everybody in this pitching matchup tonight. Brought to you by Lexus, and we look at a veteran, Jason Marquis, a guy who shut the Mariners down last year when we were in Washington going against the King, Felix Hernandez.
Well, Felix Hernandez has been outstanding this year. You can see the ERA to 2.23. I think maybe Felix's command of his pitches and the type of pitches that he has thrown this year is as good as we have seen him. I think he's had the best changeup in this league, one of the best moving fastballs you're going to see, and, of course, the slider and the curveball. And when he is on early in the game, it's a long day for the hitter. Then, of course, Jason Marquis. Now we're talking about one of the veterans that's been around, not overpowering at all. It's going to be a lot of sinkers to the Mariner hitters. He's trying to keep the ball on the ground. He pitches to contact early. He'll also mix in a slider and a changeup. But he'll be changing speeds on his sinker, his two-seamer, and he'll be pitching down in the zone for Marquis.
We saw him last year with the Washington Nationals. But the guy that's really hot right now, swinging the bat for the Mariners, is Jesus Montero. Look at that batting average, .385 with 15 hits and a couple home runs. Very impressive, and he comes up big last night, a single and a double. So Montero getting it done, swinging a bat, leading the way. He's in the 4-hole again today for the Mariners as we get ready to tee it up with the Twins. First pitch straight ahead.
Welcome back. The Space Needle is orange. I mean, what do you wear when you want to celebrate your 50th anniversary? Orange, of course. Seattle Mariners Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By CenturyLink. and by the Emerald Queen Casino, inviting you to a spectacular evening with the incomparable Anita Baker, June 22nd. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com. We should all hope to look so good at 50 years of age. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk, and we keep hearing the skipper, Eric Wedge, talk about how he doesn't want to see too many strikeouts, or so many strikeouts, and that he wants to see more professional at-bats from his hitters. Well, what exactly does that mean? It's a perfect question for hitting coach Chris Chambliss.
A professional at bat just means that that he's doing everything right at the plate. You know, he's not swinging at bad balls. He's tough with 2 strikes. He tries not to strike out. He's aggressive, and he's just ready to hit all the time. And yet if a walk was there, he would take that. So a professional at bat is something that you try to do every time.
Mike Blowers joins us now up in the booth. And Mike, when does this start getting ingrained? And can a professional at bat differ from hitter to hitter or situation to situation?
I think, Angie, that it definitely can. I think the first thing, when you talk about professional at-bats, I agree with everything that Chris Chambliss said, but I also think that each individual player has to have a plan going into a game and have the ability to be committed to that plan. And that is a difficult thing when you're talking about young hitters. And then lastly, I think the game situation. What is your job in the lineup, and what does the game require of you? Do you have to move the runner over? Can you get your bunts down? Just different things of part of the game that I think becomes a professional at bat, and I think really it takes a little bit of time. A lot of young hitters in this lineup, and Chris will continue to preach that to him as the season moves on.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Probably just need a few professional at-bats when Felix Hernandez is on the mound. The Kings Court is here tonight, and we are glad that you are as well. The Mariners have the right guy on the mound. The Mariners and the Twins just about set for first pitch.
It has turned into a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in Seattle, Washington. We're so glad to have you with us for Mariner Baseball Game 2. 3-game set with the Twins. Mariners trying to bounce back after a heartbreaker from last night. They send the King to the mound. Felix Hernandez to take on the Twins, and let's take a look at the Twins batting order for tonight.
Just a few changes for the Twins tonight. Span leading things off, and it's Carroll. Maurer the DH again. He will hit third. Willingham, Domet, Parmelee, Valencia. Camacho getting in the lineup. He will play right field and hit 8th tonight. And then Casilla, the second baseman, hits 9th. Numbers for Felix on the air. Sparkling ERA, 2.23 ERA, 42 strikeouts already for Felix. Opponent's average just 2.11.
Felix trying to get his first home win 2012. Denard Span will lead it off. Strike one. Great way to start. Very comfortable here at Safeco Field, 56 degrees, wind out of the northwest at 2. All right, the obligatory question coming off of last night's heartbreaker as a baseball player. Baseball player's mentality and approach and view of things. Here's a ground ball hit to Ackley. He'll take care of it. Throw over to Smoke in the first half. It's a lot different from maybe we'll get it. Let's do the defense. I want to ask you this question. Here's the defense for the Mariners.
In the outfield for the Mariners, Carpet left, Saunders out in center, Ichiro the right fielder tonight. And on the infield, Seager gets the start at third base, Ryan and Ackley up the middle, Justin Smoke, your first baseman, and Jesus Montero will do the catching tonight.
But the mindset to try to flush a game from last night as a ball player, sometimes, you know, as a fan, you carry it in and you're just gritting your teeth, but you guys can't do that.
No, you can't. It stays with you for a while when the game is over, I think. And it really comes down, when you talk about the position players or even Felix getting the start tonight, I think it's much easier. I'm sure it was a difficult night for somebody like Tom Wilhelmsen, who has been outstanding for the Mariners and just made a mistake last night that cost him the game. But that's the kind of margin that they've been dealing with.
Here's a slicing drive, right center. Saunders got it in the sunshine. 2 outs.
And I think that's the biggest thing with that, Dave, is your teammates. At that point, that they know the job that Tom has done, and they'll pick him up and give him a pass on that one. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Unfortunately, Tom made one last night. But I think that if you're a tight group, which I think these guys are, probably more so than what we've seen over the last few years, I think it's easier. There's a shot at Brendan Ryan, who's had his own struggles lately. He ended up with a couple of hits last night trying to get Justin Smoke going. You have to stay together, especially early in the season, because things can get away from you in a hurry if you don't, Dave.
Big matchup right here. Joe Mauer takes a strike. Mauer 13 for 26, 2 homers, 7 ribbies against Felix Hernandez. As you look at the bullpenner, Sean Kelly just brought back from Tacoma. Erasmo Ramirez sent down. The 0-1. Work inside and missed. I talked to Eric Wedge. I said, talking about Wilhelmsen's play last night, he says, come on, young kid. Hey, we're going through growing pains together. I said, opportunity presents itself to running Matt there tonight. He says, absolutely no hesitation. The kid's been terrific.
I would agree with him. I don't see any reason not to. And, you know, the unfortunate thing is he ended up getting in a little bit of trouble. Made a great pitch to get exactly what he wanted, and unfortunately, he forgot about the situation and ended up making a bad play.
Carl Willis had an interesting take. Pitching coach, he said the fact that we had just told him, he says, Felix will feel this and we'll continue the story. We come back about Tom. But a great start, a 9-pitch start for Felix Hernandez. The Kings Court in session tonight here at Safeco Field. Mariners coming to bat. Fans in the pen making the most of Cinco de Mayo here in Seattle. And straightaway center field. This is a beautiful, beautiful setting. And there's a big sombrero. These guys came ready to rock. Good stuff. Let's take a look at the Chevron starting lineup for the Mariners.
All right, Dave. Leading things off, it'll be Dustin Ackley. Brendan Ryan moves up. He will hit second after a couple hits last night. Ichiro Montero. Seager, Jaso in the lineup is the DH hitting 6. Smoke, Carp, and Saunders to round out the 9. Pick numbers for Markey. 6.23 ERA. Only 17 in the third innings for him. 7 strikeouts. Opponent's average high at 353.
Day 2 of the Ackley era as leadoff man continues. His average has plummeted down to 232. Did go 1 for 4 last night. Strike called there by Les Diaz, working home plate tonight. Mike Everett at first, Paul Schreiber at second, and Tim Welke, the crew chief, at third. Play down to third base. Valencia bobbles and just nips Ackley.
Looks like Ackley gets a fastball running off the outside corner. Valencia had a tough time getting it out of his glove, and here's the stretch from Parmalee, the first baseman. Another look at it. Awfully close play. Ackley runs well. Another one of the reasons why he's hitting leadoff now.
Brendan Ryan batting in a 2-hole today. Eric Wade said he really looking forward to get him going and put him back in a 2 spot. Third time this season Ryan batting second. They can put that right-hander in between him. Put him in between Ackley and Ichiro. Broken 0 for 26 last night. First pitch he saw it single to left and then got an infield hit his second time up on a 2 for 3 night.
Brendan Ryan taking some pitches last night, aggressive as you mentioned, Dave, hitting the first pitch, being a little more patient tonight, hitting second, trying to get the ball elevated from Marquis. He will try to work down in the zone. The further down he goes, the more sink he's going to have on his fastball. Wants to live on the ground if he can. So offensively, I think here early, the first couple of innings, try to make him throw some pitches. See if Las Diaz, the home plate umpire, first of all, is going to call the pitch down, and if not, make him elevate the ball, give you a chance to find some outfield grass if you can get him up in the zone.
Check swing, tapper right back to Marquis. Second out, Marquis. Let's take a look at the defense behind him.
In the outfield for the Twins, Willingham in left. Span is in center field. Komatsu is in right. And on the infield, Valencia already made a fine play. He's at third base. Carroll and Casilla at the middle. Parmalee is your first baseman, and Doman is the catcher.
Quick 2 outs. Jason Marquis with his 7th team came up with Atlanta back in 2000 as he faces Ichiro. Ichiro 3 for 12 against Jason. Marquis' 5th start against the Mariners. First here at Safeco Field. Amy, the itchy meter lady, is ready to add another number. Ichiro leads the ball club with those 35 hits.
I think this is a good matchup for Ichiro facing Marquis. Marquis is going to pitch the left-handers away. The Mariners, by the way, have 7 left-handers in their lineup tonight. And I think you have to take what he's going to give you, and what he's going to give you is a running fastball away. So hitting the ball the other way would serve you well. Something that is a strength for Ichiro.
Pitch outside. Ichiro 3rd in the American League in hits. 35 behind Derek Jeter with 46. David Ortiz with 36. Ichiro tied with Josh Hamilton at 35 starting today. 3-0. He's aboard. Scott Alger, generally the third base coach, is the acting manager for this weekend series with Ron Gardenhire, attending his daughter's college graduation. Daughter Tara graduating from Southwest Minnesota State University in Marshall, Minnesota. Gardy's going to be back on Monday. Hottest hitter the Mariners have, Jesus Montero. Pounds one down, fair ball. Valencia backhands, throws across, and retires Montero. No runs, no hits, no errors, a man left. underway here in Seattle. The Mariners and the Twins.
Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. By Northern Quest Casino, Spokane's newest destination resort, and by Ford. We are local. It is Salute to Kids Day. Everybody down here clamoring to get their Dustin Ackley t-shirts, but they wouldn't give me one, Dave. They said I'm not 14 and under.
Okay. All right, Angie, thank you very much. Here's Felix Hernandez about to take on Josh Willingham, Ryan Doumit, and Chris Parmelee. Middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6 for the Twins. Ended a 3-game losing streak last night and extended the Mariner loss streak to 7. But a good start to this campaign for Willingham. Leads the club in batting average, doubles, home runs, and RBI.
I didn't think about it, Dave, until just now seeing Willingham get in the box. But I think last year, Felix's first time facing Willingham, he ended up hitting a home run off of him.
In Oakland.
In Oakland, but then Felix pretty much owned him after that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You could see, I think you even mentioned, I think at some point, you could see him amping up that second. He was really ticked off after giving that home run in the first inning. And it just, you could feel the level just rise, man. Ground ball down to third. Seager takes care of it. Throws the smoke for the first out. Talk about ERA leaders. Look at Felix Hernandez. Since April 14th, he's in good company. Good pitchers there, boys. Look at that. Felix, Weaver, Johnny Cueto, Gio Gonzalez, and Yu Darvish. Felix has the best numbers. One out here in the second. Here's Ryan Doumit. Switch hitter. The starting right fielder last night eventually moved in behind the dish. 1-0 for 4. Did not go as Diaz gets help from Tim Welke. 2-1.
I like that when the home plate umpire does it right away. You don't have to wait to ask him or anything. He just right away, he wasn't sure, and asking for help.
Get it right.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, nice wrinkle in that one, 2-2.
One of the things that it just showed you the ERAs and how well Felix has pitched. And so many times you look at the premier pitchers, they usually have 2+ pitches. Typically a fastball and something off speed they like as Felix gets his first strikeout. But I think For Felix, I think he really has 4+ pitches, and his command of those pitches has been exceptional this year. Take a look at the last pitch from Felix, and you can see the amount of movement on the bottom just falls out of it. His changeup is, and for me, is the best in the league, and it's because of the amount of movement. And so many times you see people with changeups. We saw a good one last night from Pavano, and the difference is the separation off of his fastball, 10, 11 miles an hour. Felix is only 4 miles an hour off his fastball, but it's the amount of movement he gets on that pitch that causes hitters so many problems.
Greatest movement down both sides that we've probably seen in the last few years, right? In terms of changeup?
I don't think there's any question about it. And you know, we've heard a lot this year, too, as far as hitting goes, and that is pitch recognition. I think Felix's arm speed is the same on all the pitches that he throws, and he'll throw a breaking ball sometimes at 78 miles an hour. He can still get his fastball up 94, 95 when he wants to.
Got a 1-1 count here. Miss with that breaking ball to Chris Parmelee. Last time out for Felix, as I mark it down on my sheet, it's one of 3 HBs, 3 heartbreakers. 8 innings, a 5-hit, 1-run ball. No decision at Tampa Bay. Swing and a miss, 2-2. And that heartbreaker against Cleveland here on the 19th of April. And then in the opener, 8 innings, a 5-hit, 1-run ball. Couldn't get a win. 2-2. Hey, struck him out. That ends the top of the second for Minnesota, and Felix rolling early. Back-to-back strikeout, 6 up, 6 down. Look at this. Couldn't touch it. Hey kids, now's your chance to showcase Mariners closer Brendan League right in your bedroom wall. Tomorrow afternoon, 1:10 start time, Aquafina Little League Day, and all youngsters 14 and under take home a poster of the Heart Throwing All-Star. Get your tickets by visiting the Safeco Field box office. Kyle Seager to lead it off against Jason Marquis. Seager, Jaso, and Smoke 5, 6, and 7 here in Mariners home second. Marquis upset with himself, 2-0.
Well, he hasn't shown good command of the two-seamer yet. He has a lot of movement to it, but he's missing off the plate away to the left-handers. 15 pitches for him, 9 balls.
Bouncing ball to the second baseman, Casilla. Flips over to Parmelee. 1 out. Felix, his foot's all right, his right foot.
See all the dirt on the toe of his right foot. And so many times these guys put a lot of pressure on that toe. They'll take the shoe off and give the toe a chance to feel a little bit better. But
I like the King Felix printout on his shoes. John Jaso DHing tonight. Jaso's acquitted himself quite nicely in limited action this year. Done a great job pinch hitting. It's his 5th start as a DH. Good road trip for John. Battling Jason Marquis, coming off a win in his last start. He beat Kansas City going 6 innings. Strike 1 and 2.
First couple of sliders that we've seen from Marquis.
First time for Marquis in the American League. He's been with Atlanta, St. Louis, the Cubs, Colorado, Nats, Arizona, and now the Twins. Boy, fought that off. Little dribbler. Domet can't make the play. A base hit for John Jaso.
Here you have it. It's a swinging bunt. It jams and gets in on the pine tar of his bat. John does the right thing, takes off right away. You see Domet coming out from behind home plate. And I think when he goes to try to barehand it, and just leaving it on the grass.
That goes to the point you made last week about third baseman charging into the glove. Sometimes I know as a catcher you're taught to
scoop it in there.
Gather with both hands.
Yes. And it's for that reason what you just saw. You leave it on the grass sometimes, but if you can get around it, and the key to it is he wasn't footwork wise able to get around it in time, so he just reached out with the bare hand. But if you can get around it, then you'll see the guys almost shovel it into their glove.
Right. And you get better rhythm, and it gets you good that forward motion.
And it gives you time to get a better grip on the baseball.
I remember doing that drill a lot in high school and college. Smoke is the hitter.
Take another look at it as he comes out from behind the plate. He can't quite get around it. Right there, if he scoops it with his glove, he probably won't leave it on the turf. Somebody that's happy about that though is John Jaso. That's the first hit of the ball game.
Smoke short and swing can pay off here. 2-0 to count. Smoke 1 for 2 against Marquis. Look at Mike Carp batting in the 8-hole today, playing left field. For ball 4. Second walk issued by Marquis. Mariners have 2 on, 1 out here in the second.
Bring up Mike Carp, and Mike last night hit a double off the fence in right field, drove in a run. Sure, he's looking forward to getting some consistent at bats here early in the season. He ended up on the DL, as everybody knows, hurting himself in the first game of the season in Tokyo.
Not a lot of speed out there for the Mariners in Jaso and Smoke. All 1 to Carp. One for 3 night and an RBI for Carp last evening. One out, 2 on. Back up the middle. Here's a double play. That'll do it for the Mariners here in the second as Casilla, Carroll, and Parmelee get it done. Cinco de Mayo, the celebration. It may never end tonight. Twins and Mariners, middle game of a 3-game set. Time now for our AT&T trivia question. Who was the hero on this date in Mariners history? 1991. Mariners beat the Yankees 16 innings at the Kingdome. The hero was it Omar Vizquel, Greg Riley, Dave Valley, Bill Kruger. Mariners did win that game. It was a final of 5-4. I'm sitting this one out. Inadvertently saw the answer earlier. It's all on you, pal.
I need some help when I actually was in the game.
That was my next question.
I should clarify that. I wasn't in the game, but I was there.
Yeah.
As part of the Yankees at the time. I'm trying to remember.
Danny Valencia leading off. Bottom third of the order, Valencia, Komatsu, and Casilla. Anything flashing back?
I'm trying to remember. No, just because I spent the last 2 weeks with him, I'll go with Valley.
Okay. Probably a solid choice. Here's a dribbler foul.
Oh, Dave Valley.
1-2. Felix has struck out the last 2 men that he's faced. Foul off. So at the time, on this date, 91, it was the longest game to that point in the history of the Kingdom. Oof. That stunned Montero.
Laz Diaz. They have a brotherhood back there, don't they?
You know
each other out. Wow, almost had it again.
Yep. It's a stunning blow. And here's the next one. Ball and 2 strikes. And the dirt to think when you look at, was it The Glory of Their Times, that great book about early baseball and anything even before that. And you look at baseball when it started, catchers did not have masks. Are you kidding me? And now granted, they were a few feet back and they were in a, it's about a, you know, they were in a, what do we call this in football? This was a half stance, if you will. They were only half, they weren't in a full crouch, but nonetheless.
They're almost like in a basketball defensive
Yeah,
stance,
almost like a linebacker kind of deal, and
right.
you're holding the thing up there. What are some brave dudes back in the day, huh? 2-2. Swing and a miss. Olivo make that. Montero finds it, throws down the first, and it's 3 strikeouts in a row for Felix.
That's when they came up with the tools of ignorance.
Yeah, pretty good bet. 3 in a row.
Great breaking ball from Felix. Montero able to keep it close to him. Doesn't panic at all. Able to find it. So many times you'll see a catcher they can't find it because they panic, but it's nice and calm about it. I think he knew he had enough of it that had to be close to him somewhere.
Next hitter just acquired from the Cardinals, Eric Komatsu. He's the right fielder. Played 15 games for the Cardinals, hit .211. And the trivia question, the early leaders, Omar Vizquel and Dave Ballard. Komatsu, a Rule 5 guy from Milwaukee that the Cardinals picked up, and they just let him go. And Twins have acquired him, and they got him in right field. 1-1. He is dealing tonight. All 2 strikes. Komatsu over in the National League. First look at Felix Hernandez. Put it on the ground to Eckley, who backhands and throws him out. 2 down. 8 up, 8 down for Felix Hernandez against the Twins. Bring up Alexi Casilla.
The way this is going right now and seeing Felix in the group, Casilla He will try to bunt. He'll take it with him. He'll try to drag it. It looks like Seager sees that. It's one of the few times I've seen him actually play up in front of the bag over at third. Typically he'll play even with it. If he thinks a hitter is going to bunt, has a lot of confidence in what he's doing. And we'll see if he walks up. He walked up on the first pitch. Maybe he'll stay back now. There's a big hack by Casilla. He comes up a little bit.
0-1 in there for strike 2. Good night to be in the King's Court. 2 out, nobody on. Felix deals 0-2. Already third inning. Oohing and eyeing on almost every pitch. It looks like Laz Diaz may have missed that one. 1-2.
Felix in great shape with his pitch count. 37 pitches, 24 of them for strikes.
1-2. Swing, and Montero's going to throw down the smoke. A breeze for Felix. First time through the order. 9 up, 9 down. He's got 4 strikeouts. Got to get him some runs. Saunders is going to lead it off when we come back. Dribbler in front of the plate by John Jaso. Bottom of the third here, Michael Saunders going to lead it off, followed by Ackley and Ryan. All on to Michael. Batting 9th tonight. Batting 8th last night. Went 0 for 3.
Last pitch to Saunders looked like the cut fastball. It's the first one that Marquis has thrown. I think we'll see more of that as the game moves on, trying to keep the left-handed hitters honest. Good looking swing from Saunders. He gets a two-seamer off the plate away, but it looked like he was out there to drive it into left center field.
Good crowd on hand here tonight at Safeco Field. 1-2 the count to Michael Saunders. Mariners looking to end a 7-game losing streak. 1-2. Saunders now count even at 2-2. Mariners in 1-run games, a 3-7 record with last night's loss. 3-2 final. 2-2 pitch here to Saunders. The count full. Ackley's on deck.
Looks like Marquis wanted that last pitch inside to Saunders. A little bit disappointed. Maybe caught the edge, didn't get the call. See all those pitches away from Saunders. Pitch of the at bat coming up, and I think for a pitcher as a former hitter, they can't have it on both sides of the plate. If he's going to get a few inches off the plate away, you're not going to get the one inside.
Up high, ball 4, third walk issued by Jason Marquis. There was a lot of activity going on down here earlier today. Here's Angie Menting.
Yeah, guys, a doubleheader here, but not a Mariners baseball doubleheader. A Seattle Sounders Mariners baseball doubleheader. They were taking on the Philadelphia Union at CenturyLink Field in the 63rd minute. Freddie Montero with the assist over the middle to Mauro Rosales for the goal. It's Rosales' first of the season. That's all they needed. Seattle improves to 6-1-1. Dave?
Congratulations to the Sounders. He's double dipping today.
Why not? Walk across the street.
We got a little stack contest going too. How high will the tower go? One-0 count to Ackley outside 2-0.
So far, only thrown two first pitch strikes to the 10 batters that he has faced, and out of 36 pitches, 21 of them for balls. So he has not been sharp.
2-0 to Ackley. Saunders decent lead. 2-1. Good count here for Ackley. 2-1. Saunders at first. He took it for ball 3.
And Marquis wasn't happy. The veteran, Laz Diaz, letting him know about it. Laz felt like he was showing him up.
Scott Alger, the acting manager with Ron Gardenhire away. His daughter's college graduation. 3-1 pitch to Ackley. That will get out of play. Marquis not real pleased. Laz Diaz didn't take kindly to it. Took the mask off immediately. They both expressed themselves. Now we move on.
You can see the fourth pitch. That's the pitch that they were complaining about, and you can see that it was off the plate. But I think Marquis was able to get a few of those pitches earlier. Now he walks the batter.
Back-to-back walks. 4 in the early going here for Jason Marquis. 2 on for the Mariners. Nobody out. Mariner moms and dads, sign your youngsters up right now for the Seattle Mariners Kids Club. It's presented by U.S. Bank. For only $15, you're going to get an exclusive Kids Club bag, cap, and T-shirt. You'll receive great discounts. Plus, have a chance to take part in the members-only autograph sessions. Sign up right now. Mariners.com/Kids Club. Chance to do some damage here. Here's Ryan with a couple of men on. Nobody out. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Mariners had 1 out, first and second in the second inning. Carp grounded into an inning-ending double play.
I think with nobody out yet, Felix on the mound, he looks like he is strong as he has been all year. Try to get a run early for him. Brendan Ryan wanting to bunt the ball firmly to Valencia, the third baseman, make him come in and field it so Saunders can walk into third.
Popped it up, foul. Season high 4 walks for Jason Marquis. Career high is 6. He's done that a couple of times. And the Mariners trying to take advantage here in the 3rd inning. Runners take their leads. 0-2 pitch. Did not go, says Mike Everett. 1-2. A couple of weeks ago, last homestand, Figgins got down a 2-strike bunt.
I'm trying to remember if it was on the road trip or not, but yes, he definitely did. And you don't see that very often. Typically, when a hitter gets 2 strikes, the managers will take it off. But Figgins was able to get one down with 2 strikes.
One and 2 to Ryan. Swinging away, and he strikes out. 1 out. Not a productive at bat there. 1 down here in the 3rd brings up Ichiro.
Pitch down and off the plate away. Brendan not able to hold up on it. Something that we've seen over the last week, Dave, with the struggles that the Mariners had. Some of these fundamental things have eluded them, and it's something that Eric Wedge has preached about since spring training. And they started the season off really doing a great job, but over the last week it's been tough.
Bouncing ball, Casilla. There's 1 double play. Same fate, 2 innings in a row. 3 in the books here at Safeco Field. Double play's been kind to Minnesota. No score.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Sterling Bank. Life is about the good stuff. Your bank should be too. Visit our new website at bankwithsterling.com. Dave?
Thank you, Angie. Beautiful Saturday night here in Seattle. Glad you're with us, everybody. Good crowd on hand here with Felix Hernandez on the mound. Jason Marquis has been a beneficiary of a couple of double plays to get him out of trouble. And after the last half inning, Mike, your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it probably went something along the lines, hey, Laz, I really thought that was a strike off the plate away. And he's telling him, no, it wasn't. Well, maybe you were right. I just know that I have to have that pitch. Sorry, I got excited about it, Laz. We'll get you some dinner tomorrow, or what hotel are you at? We'll set you up.
But that was a veteran performance by number 21.
Well, that's exactly what it was, because he knows he has to have that pitch on the edge or just off the edge away, and upsetting the home plate umpire early in the game is not going to help his cause. And then he's looking across the field at this man, and Felix Hernandez. Better smooth things out with that guy who's in charge of the game tonight, Laz Diaz.
Strike one to Denard Span, starting the second time around for Minnesota. And There's first base hit for Minnesota. Felix 9 up, 9 down. First base runner for the Twins. Span having an outstanding start. Top 10 in hits. That's his 33rd.
Well, you never know. I thought maybe we'd see something special from Felix Hernandez. I still believe it's a matter of time before he throws a no-no, but here's a base hit through the right side of the infield. Just felt like with his dominance over this club and the struggles the Twins have had, and as good as Felix looks, that might have been a rough night for him, but they check in with a base hit.
Twins last week, Jerome Williams of the Angels shut him out, and then Jared Weaver followed that with a no-hitter. So they were definitely in range.
Right, and now you have to forget about that. Span will try to steal a base. He'll get back to just playing baseball and trying to win a game.
Span 3 out of 5 in base stealings. Jimmy Carroll takes a strike. That was a better move by Marquee. That was smooth. That was really good. He knows the deal. And how many times have you seen that?
Well, all I can tell you is that 1 minute Laz was wearing him out, and by the time he reached the dugout, he'd already gotten a pat on the back from him. So he
a smile.
He
worked. Touch him on the hey, come on, we're in this thing. Come on. 0-2 to Carroll. Drops down a bunt. Felix will barehand. Take care of it. Sacrifice. 1-4 for Carroll. Impressive getting it down with 2 strikes.
You can see both managers now trying to play for a run here early in the game. Carroll able to get this bunt down. You have good speed on the bases, so it doesn't have to be a perfect bunt. Just gets it out in play, and with Span speed, Felix will come over and make the barehanded play. Felix a great athlete.
First sacrifice for Carroll brings up Joe Mauer. Strike 1. Joe tapped back to Felix first time up. Felix went 9 for 9, 9 up, 9 down, and then 0-1 pitch. Span with a base hit. Mariners have 1 hit. John Jaso, a little dribbler in front of the plate, and he was erased in a double play. Second and third inning, Marquis gotten out of trouble. Double plays. One, 2. Felix with 4 strikeouts so far. Mariners looking for their first win since last Friday, that 9-5 10-inning thriller at Toronto. Span, great speed at second, fouled off. Justin Morneau still out with a wrist problem as we take a look at the CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Marquis at 91, Felix at 93.
But that last pitch from Felix was a perfect pitch. Mauer likes the ball out over the plate. That third pitch right there, you can see it right on the inside corner. Really tied him up with it, trying to keep it in on his hands.
Shading towards left center from Mauer, dug out by Montero. Kings Court in session tonight for that man Felix Hernandez. 1 out. Speedy Denard Span at second. They want to go through the signs again. One-two pitch. Mauer. Bouncing ball to Ackley. Span to third, 2 outs. Let's get Mauer in the infield twice so far. 2 outs. Span at third. And brings up Josh Willingham. Bounced out to Seager starting the second inning. Looking Felix to amp it up here. Outside, ball one.
Saunders is shading Willingham over towards left center field. Willingham in the air will pull the ball. It's one of the reasons why the Twins liked him in their ballpark.
Breaking ball. Took a lot off it. 1-1. He's the guy with the most pop in their lineup. Josh Willingham with 5 home runs, leads the club, 15 RBIs. One ahead of Joe Mauer. Two and one. Felix Hernandez in his 13th start against Minnesota, 4-5 record, a 2.64 ERA. Better numbers here at home, 3-2 with a 1.83. The 2-1. He's behind, 3 balls, 1 strike with Ryan Doumit on deck. Big pitch, 3-1. Lost it. Ball 4, first walk by Felix. Runners at the corners for Ryan Doumit.
Felix doing a good job of working ahead of the hitters. 13 batters he's faced, 10 first pitch strikes. It's always a good sign for Felix because with the type of stuff that he has, putting the hitter on the defensive right away is a key for him. We'll take a look at it, the numbers.
Doumit coming off an 0 for 4 last night. He struck out the first time. Ball 1. Mariners have had a couple of opportunities. They had runners at first and second in the second inning. Double play erased it. First and second. 1 out in the third. Same story. And now Felix in search of his rhythm. 2-0.
Yeah, Montero going out there to remind him of that. Felix is working at a good pace and get a runner in scoring position. One of the tendencies is to be a little bit more careful, work on the edges. And typically when you're thinking that way, you're going to slow that pace down.
Ball 3. On deck, here's Chris Parmelee, the first baseman. And he walks Doumit on 4 pitches. That loads him up. Big spot here for Felix and Parmelee. Bases loaded with 2 outs in a scoreless ball game. Rare to see back-to-back walks by Felix Hernandez. Good work on Parmelee. Strike 1. On to Parmelee. Breaking ball misses. Parmelee, a big, bright young player in the Twins organization. Great season last year in the minors. Felix, first 3 innings, 38 pitches, no base runners. Here in the 4th, 20 pitches, and the bases are loaded. 1-1. 2-1.
As Diaz saying the pitch was off the plate away. Last two pitches, pretty good pitches. Doesn't get the call on either one of them.
Big spot here at 2-1. He's going to get out of it. Fly ball to Carp, right at him. Felix survives in the fourth, leaves him loaded. And he survives an inning that they had a little bit of off rhythm there, but things are good. No score. Twins and the Mariners.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
There's the start to the day. Hey, Mom, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to the ball game tonight. Yeah, what are you wearing? Here's Jesus Montero to lead it off against Jason Marquis. Looks at ball one. Montero grounded out to third his first at bat. Opportunities have been there for both clubs, Mike.
Well, I think you go back to the last inning for the Mariners, bottom of the third. Base hit.
Montero on a 1-0 pitch gets it started here in the fourth. Saw Marquis talking to Laz Diaz. Felix gets his piece. Let's see. Just trying to get a measure. What are we working with?
Both starting pitchers trying to work home plate umpire Laz Diaz.
Both recent graduates of Charm School.
There you go.
Figured try to work it on Laz tonight. Here's Seager.
Last inning, Mariners had the leadoff hitter on. Saunders, number 9 hitter, walked, and then Ackley walked right behind him. Mariners not able to get the bunt down, and then a double play ground ball from Ichiro ended the inning.
Zero count to Seager. Third double play opportunity. They make it happen. 3 straight innings, double plays for Minnesota. There's a new bobblehead in town, and you don't want to miss it. Friday, May 25th, first ever Dustin Ackley bobblehead night. First 20,000 fans take home the Mariners' second baseman's debut bobble. Courtesy of Root Sports. Get your tickets. Dustin Ackley bobblehead night at Mariners.com. And tonight's an Ackley t-shirt night. A lot of fans here in attendance. Young fans. Good to see that. Swing and a miss by Jaso. Boy, that jumped out of his shoes.
I think he thought he was going to get the two-seamer. He saw that pitch start inside, expecting it to run back out over the plate, but instead it was a cutter at 87 miles an hour. Swings over the top of it. An infield base hit his first time up.
Look out, pulled foul. Pitcher's best friend double play, and Marquis got 3 of them.
Well, it's one of the things that we talked about at the top of it. He's going to use the two-seamer. That's the pitch that he wants to get the hitters out on. First pitch strikes. Struggling with that, only 5 out of the 15 batters, but that's the pitch that gets him out of trouble. Keeping the ball on the ground, giving his infielders a chance to turn double plays. And I think he's typical of a lot of guys. The more aggressive a hitter that you are, the better that he's going to like it, because he'll just continue to run that pitch further and further away from you.
Now you're reaching, you're extending, you're off balance. Mariners have hit into 21 double plays on the season. That pitch outside. That's among some of the fewest double plays in the American League. Second fewest. 2-2 with 2 outs, nobody on to John Jaso. Right back to Marquis. Boy, a lot of movement on that one, underhands. Marquis faces the minimum here in the 4th, his 3rd double play behind him. And we still have a scoreless ball game.
The 5th inning of a scoreless game. Angie Mentink here, and I am joined by Tyler. It's Salute to Kids Day. And Tyler, one day you want to be a broadcaster, is that right, or no?
No, not really. I have no intention of that.
No intention of being a broadcaster. Is somehow you get saddled with me. All right, so if not a broadcaster, what do you want to do with the rest of your life?
I kind of want to be like a computer technician. Just like, yeah, I kind of want to work with Apple one day.
Okay, well, David Mike, he's a lot smarter than we are, guys.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Top of the 5th. First pitch swinging. Valencia to Ryan. Quick one out. Back to you, Angie.
I asked Tyler if he played baseball himself. He said, no, not anymore. He's skateboarding. But at the same time, I imagine you got to be a Mariner fan if you're here.
Oh, yeah, I am a Mariners fan. I like them. I got the coat on and everything.
Favorite?
No, not favorite, but they're up there in my top 10.
Favorite Mariner?
Felix Hernandez, definitely.
Perfect. Well done. Well done, Dave. Mike, back upstairs.
One out. And Eric Komatsu will stand in. He grounded out to second base. Thank you, Angie. Tyler, thank you for joining us as well. Strike one to Komatsu. See if Felix can get it back. Tough 4th inning. Walked a couple. Matter of fact, Willingham and Domet back to back to load him up, and he got out of it with Parmalee, a 2-1 pitch. popped it to short left field. Look out, line drive down the line, foul.
I think after the sacrifice bunt last inning, when Carroll moved up Span, who started the inning off with a base hit, Felix all of a sudden was really careful with all of his pitches. And you certainly understand why. He's seeing that Marquis is actually pitching a good game against him also, which isn't anything rare. When Felix is on the mound, it seems like he always gets the best out of whoever's on the other side of the field.
Amen.
But he was going to make sure that he didn't make a mistake in the middle of the plate.
Off the fist, Carp right there. 2 down. Time now for the Banner Bank Building to the Future. Francisco Martinez. Jackson 6-game hitting streak. He came over from Detroit in the Doug Fister, David Pauly deal. He's batting .385, 10 for 26 during that stretch. 4 multi-hit games as the leadoff man for Jackson. We hear so much about Jackson, our Banner Bank Building to the Future. Mentioned so much about the hitting, make that the pitching in Jackson. Good to hear that. Got a couple of guys swinging the bat while down there. 2 outs. Here's Casilla. Felix Hernandez tonight, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, giving up just 1 hit. Smoke on the coverage. Felix does his job, and that'll do it. Well, Felix back on track here in the 5th, takes care of the bottom third of the order. Now the Mariner bottom third of the order looking to produce something for him in this 0-0 game. Smoke going to lead it off. Walked his first time, Maris did a double play. Chris Chambliss supremely confident that Smoke's going to start to find it. Talking a lot about shortening up the stroke. Of course, as a switch hitter, it seems like it doubles any kind of problems you may be having.
Well, and for him, his natural side is the right side of the plate. And he's had his struggles on that side also. I think that the main thing for him is he has to find a way to slow this game down. And to do that typically, because I think that he's drifting forward and it's making his swing longer. And he's just really going to have to work on trying to stay on his backside a little bit longer and really let the ball travel.
Drifting was the exact same word that Chris talked about.
Yeah.
That's what he used, to drift.
Yeah. And you know, people talk about his recognition of the off-speed pitches. A lot of that comes when your head is moving. You're not seeing the spin of the ball. You're not picking it up.
Same thing you talked about with Olivo.
Yeah, and you're trying to rush to it. And
Yep.
It's not an uncommon thing. It happens to hitters all the time, but it's just a matter of how much time it takes for you to get that figured out to where you can trust what you're doing, and that's the hardest part. But you have to eventually get there.
Smoke, Carp, and Saunders here in the home fifth. 2-2.
Yeah, I think Olivo is a great one to bring up because Miguel was doing the same type of thing, and that's what the real shame is of him getting hurt, because right about the time that he was committed, which started when he was in Detroit on the last road trip, committed to doing that, let the ball travel, try to get a base hit the ball hard somewhere, and then as he was starting to really feel strong and see the ball well and hit the ball out of the ballpark, he gets hurt. Real shame.
Olivo got his batting average up to 210. He's got 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. Payoff to Smoke. Center field. Big swing. Didn't go real far. Span's first step was back, but he has it covered. 1 out. Our AT&T Trivia question. Fans liked, let's see, Valley and Vizquel with Briley, Close, and Kruger. The last survey says Greg Briley. Question: who was the hero in this date? Mariners history, 1991. Mariners beat the Yankees 16 innings at the Dome. Rich Monteleone. There's a little tribute to Dave Niehaus. Look, the top of that sombrero. Oh my! Cinco de Frio. Not broken out the rally fries just yet. Carp takes a strike, 0-2. Jason Marquis, 1 strikeout. He's walked 4. He's had 3 double plays turned behind him. Tigers come to town on Monday, and who will be on the mound for Detroit? Doug Fister, former Mariner.
Oh, good.
Against Blake Bevan. The 0-2. Just outside.
When we were in Detroit, Doug Fister was still working his way back on the DL. 65 pitches for Marquis, 32 strikes, 33 balls.
2 to Carp. Marquis came up with Atlanta back in 2000, so he was in on that Glavin Smoltz Maddox crowd. Likes to pitch in the same vein as Mr. Maddox. 3-2 the count with Saunders on deck. One out, nobody on. They play Carp straight away. Popped up, short left field. Shortstop takes care of it. That's Jamie Carroll. 2 outs. Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Twins for 3, Tigers for 3, then back on the road again. Be interesting to see Doug Fister pitch on Monday. It'll be Blake Bevan against Doug Fister, Kevin Millwood against Justin Verlander, and Vargas against Smiley. And then coming up tomorrow in the finale of this series, Noesi against Nick Blackburn. Ball 1 to Michael Saunders.
Michael was able to work a walk his first time off, leading off the 3rd inning.
One and 1. Two balls, 1 strike.
One of the things we haven't seen from Marquis is throwing the two-seamer into the lefty and running back on the inside corner. When he's gone inside with a cut fastball.
Hit hard, but right to the first baseman, Parmelee. So Marquis and Felix Hernandez both throwing up zeros on the board. To the 6th inning we go. Breeze along into the 6th inning here at Safeco Field. Felix Hernandez and Jason Marquis locked up in a duel. Strikeouts for Felix. He's got 4 tonight. And they came in a span in the 2nd and 3rd inning where he struck out 4 or 5 guys.
And Felix again looks like he's on top of his game. A lot of movement on his fastball. The great changeup again. At times he's been able to pump his fastball up 93, 94 miles an hour. There's the big curveball. Oh, the Twins, they have their work cut out for him. Felix on top of his game. Mariners just need to find a way to score him a run.
You realize there's been one man in this game that has reached 3rd base. You're looking at him, Denard Span. His last time up, he got a base hit to right, sacrificed to 2nd, and took 3rd on an infield out. Two 2-0 count.
Well, the pitchers, you can see the toe of Felix, the right toe, as he drags and pushes off the mound. We showed you earlier him having the right shoe off of his foot in between innings when he's resting. You can see the amount of pressure he puts on that. He'll throw anywhere from 110 to 120 pitches. And as the game wears on, that thing will start to bark for him.
Struck out 4, walked 2. He's 3-1 to Span. He's got a full count now. Jamie Carroll's on deck.
Carroll with a sacrifice bunt his last time up.
Payoff pitch. Out of the way. Mariners trying to end a 7-game losing streak. Twins ended their 3-game losing streak last night with a 3-2 come from behind win. Swing and a Span's gone. Strikeout number 5 for Felix Hernandez. One out here in the 6th.
Nothing fancy here. Comes back in a 3-1 count and comes back to get Span on the strikeout with a couple of really good fastballs. Look at the McDonald Supermo as the ball comes out of Felix's hand. Got a 4-seam fastball grip and throws it by him.
One out, that'll bring up Jamie Carroll, fly to center and lay down a sacrifice bunt. Last time up. Carroll last night, first inning single. That snapped. To give you an idea how the struggles have gone for Minnesota, and 0 for 47 for Twins hitters. It's ahead quickly, 0-2. Petro has it lined up. 2 outs. If you're hitting the road outside the Northwest, well, take the Mariners with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv to see the Mariners live on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Mariners.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Joe Mauer. Felix has kept him in the infield twice. He's 0 for 2. One. Breaking ball, good one. 0-2. Two outs. Nobody on. They shade Mauer towards left center. Pitch. In the dirt. 1-2. One-two to Mauer. Fly ball, left field towards the line. Carp under it. 1-2-3 inning for Felix in the 6th. Home 6 coming up. Mariners at the top of the order. Ackley, Ryan, and Ichiro looking for a run. Felix Hernandez, who can't pitch much better than he is, and as he always does, he could use one or more runs. Sign up now. Here's the petition.
Well, they're back to the top of the lineup with Ackley leading things off, so maybe this will be their inning.
Strike one to Ackley. Grounded to third and walked tonight. Felix has given up one hit. Leadoff single to Span in the 4th. The Mariners have 2 hits. Dribbler. Foot race. win by Ackley. There is a winner. Third hit. And the dribbler by Jaso. That was in the second. A base hit by Montero, and now this one.
I think Parmalee, the first baseman, doing what he's supposed to. He's not sure that Marquis is going to get to it, so he went to field it. Most of the time, you'll see the pitcher field that because they're already on the run and just have a foot race to the bag. I think he loses it with Ackley running down the line, who was able to get out of the box in great shape.
Bunt was in order last time. Brendan Ryan was up. He wound up striking out. Tight game here. Bunts in order. Third baseman Valencia in close. Gets it down foul.
You can see Brendan Ryan, typically a good bunter, but on the two bunts that he's tried to lay down towards the first base side, he's dropping the barrel of the bat. You have to keep the barrel above the ball. Brendan certainly knows that. Coming over from the National League, he had bunt quite a bit. He just needs to get it out in play somewhere. Ackley runs well. You don't need a perfect bunt right here. Just get it out on the grass.
It's it, Marquis. A throw to Casillas. Sacrifice. 1-4.
And that's perfect. If there's a sacrifice bunt, it's called a sacrifice for a reason. You're giving yourself up. Not trying to bunt for a hit. And he ends up getting it out on the grass, even though it's back towards the pitcher. Again, with Ackley's speed, this will work. Just get it out into fair territory.
Ryan's first sacrifice of the season. He had 9 last year and 9 the year before with St. Louis. RBI opportunity for Ichiro.
Ichiro is walked and then he hit it to a double play ground ball to the second baseman.
Ichiro leads the club in hits. 2 for 1 thus far. Have not had a runner to get to third tonight. The only runner to third tonight, Span. Hard Span in the 4th inning. Two and one. Ichiro 3 for 13 against Jason Marquis. Popped up. Valencia giving chase. 2-2. I've run out of ability to count how many times I've had discussions or heard Eric Wedge talk about these small things of getting runners over and in. Can't even count that high anymore.
Yeah, one of the things he was talking about is the amount of hits the Mariners have been able to get hits, again, towards the league leaders in hits. It's just getting those hits when they count, and this is when they count the most. Had a difficult time picking up the runners.
4th in hits entering tonight in the American League with 229. 2-2 to Ichiro.
And that last pitch, good pitch for Ichiro to hit. It's up and it's out over the plate. And Marquis took a little something off of it, only 83 miles an hour.
One out with Ackley at second. Sacrificed after his base hit, sacrificed by Ryan. 2-2 to Ichiro. Like he's going to stay outside there, and Ichiro's going to continue to foul him off. Good numbers for Ichiro, runners in scoring position over the course of his career. Two. Worked inside. Ackley thought about it. He holds. Count runs full at 3-2. Montero's on deck. He's 1 for 2 this evening. Jason Marquis from Manhasset, Long Island, New York, lives in Staten Island, New York. Got a 3-2 count to Ichiro. And Ichiro draws a walk. 1 out, 2 on. That's the 5th walk issued by Marquis. Mariners in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th had 2 on and hit into double plays.
A little unusual, but most right-handed hitters, they like the ball up a little bit, not over the plate. I think Montero is different. Carries his hands a little bit lower. I think he can handle the ball down in the zone. So off of Marquis, that should be an advantage to him. He's 1 for 2 in the game. Hit a line drive over the shortstop's head his last time up.
Good speed out there, Ackley and Ichiro. First pitch, swung on and missed. A nice stretch over these last 9 games. Jesus Montero. 1 for 2 tonight. Felix Hernandez could use a few runs because he's in control of Minnesota.
With that base hit tonight, Montero moves his average up to 295.
Here's the 0-1. Dribbler. Marquis throws out Montero. Runners move up. 2 outs. He's been effective getting guys topping the ball here tonight.
And you can see what he's doing when he gets in a little bit of trouble, and he hasn't been in a lot. His fastball has been anywhere from 87 to 90. All of a sudden it'll drop down into that 84, 85 mile an hour range where he takes a little bit more off, sinks it more. That's a veteran pitcher going to work. You see younger pitchers, they try to put a little bit more on it, trying to throw it by hitters. The veteran guys, they'll do just the opposite, take more, get more sink off of it, try to get the ground ball. And he's had some double play balls to help him out by doing that.
The 3 double play balls. He's had 3 comebackers to him and a slow ground ball down to first. Seager with an opportunity. Ball 1. Kyle tonight rounded out the 2nd and hit into the 3rd double play. Ackley's at 3rd, Ichiro at 2nd.
Kyle hitting 5th in the lineup, came into the game hitting .287 with 3 home runs and 12 RBI.
Two-0 pitch. Singer, base hit up the middle. Ackley scores. Here comes Ichiro. The throw by Span, offline. 2-0 Mariners. Base hit, Kyle Singer for 2. RBIs 13 and 14, and the Mariners have the lead. They got ahead in the count 2-0. And we just shown you he was hitting 368 runners in scoring position with a homer and 10 ribbies. Now he's got 12.
Well, this is one of the reasons why Kyle Seager has been one of the more consistent hitters as far as the young guys go. Kyle gets himself in a hitter's count. Instead of trying to do too much over swinging, he gets the 2-seamer actually off the plate away, but it's up, and he hits the line drive back up the middle. Showing a lot of discipline in that at bat.
Here's Jaso. Sure was. Pitch on the outside, just off the outside corner. Hitting the count. It pay off. Pitch to Jaso, down low, 2-0. So Felix finally with some operating room. Ackley with a little infield hit. Ryan sacrificed him over. Ichiro drew a walk. After Montero tapped back to the pitcher. 2 out. 2-run single by Kyle Seager. 3-0 to Jaso. Jaso got the first hit. On deck hitter is Justin Smoke. Jaso had a swinging bunt in the second inning. 4th inning, tap back to Marquis. 3-0 count. 4-pitch walk to Jaso. First and second again. It's walk number 6. And the pitching coach, Rick Anderson, coming out. And Swarzak getting up the throw as we check in with Angie Mente.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Coming up next, the Tigers are going to come to town. And yesterday, the Tigers had a walk-off home run against the Chicago White Sox. Today, the Chicago White Sox trying to return the favor. Top of the 9th, Adam Dunn puts the Chi Sox on top with a 2-run blast deep to right field. Dunn has 8 home runs this season. They take it 3-2. It's our Sterling Bank score. Tate, back upstairs.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. Big turnaround for Adam Dunn. He's got a really good start here with those 8 home runs his first 7-8 weeks here in the season. If Smoke can do some damage here with a couple men on and 2 outs. Smoke thus far has walked and flied to center. He'll be the 7th hitter here in the 6th inning. To Smoke. The fist fly to left. Willingham puts it away with a big blow in the inning. A 2-out, 2-run single by Kyle Seager gives Felix Hernandez a 2-0 lead. Here at Safeco Fitness, some great looking license plates there. Celebrate Mother's Day early this Wednesday. First 10,000 women receive a Mariners necklace. We'll even throw in the Safeco Field Diamond for you as well. Get tickets for Mom and the entire family right now at any Mariners team store or Mariners.com. Wonder if those all 50 states are represented there. Good looking display. Josh Willingham Ryan Doumit, Chris Parmelee, 4, 5, and 6 against Felix Hernandez. Kyle Seager, big tip of the cap to him. 2-out, 2-run single gives the Mariners a 2-0 lead as we begin the top of the 7th. Two here to Willingham. Willingham with a ground out to third and a walk. Felix on the night struck out 5, walked 2. Nice to see him bounce back in innings 5 and 6 after getting a little off kilter in the 4th. A couple of walks left him loaded. He's retired now 7 in a row.
And again, I think in that inning, Dave, he was just being careful.
He did go. Willingham knew it. Strikeout number 6.
And the good news, Felix in great shape with his pitch count. Just 84 pitches for him working here in the 7th inning. Take a look at the check swing from Willingham. As Diaz didn't ask for help, called it himself.
And the 4th inning, Span led off with a base hit sacrifice. The 2nd, then he had Mauer, Willingham, and Doumit.
Those are the guys that are going to, if there anybody's going to, it's that group that would hurt him. And again, he was careful. Certainly understand why. Now he has a lead.
Just outside to Doumit. Doumit has struck out and walked tonight. Off his foot.
Gets a breaking ball. It's breaking down and in, and he hits on the inside part of the baseball, and there you go, right off the toe. It's pretty well guarded there, but getting a piece of his foot in there.
One of those days for catchers. We've seen Montero taking a couple just squared up on the mask. Doumit, the Minnesota catcher, off his right foot. 2-2. Full count. On deck is Chris Parmelee. Felix has given up 1 hit. That was a Span leadoff single in the 4th that broke up his no-no play after he had gone 9 up, 9 down. Payoff. Struck him out. Strikeout number 7.
You look at this pitch from Felix. Now this is his changeup. Comes back again. This changeup, 88 miles an hour, Dave. This changeup, this one's about 3-4 miles an hour again off of his fastball, and it's the movement of that pitch, necessarily the speed of it. Gives the hitter such a hard time.
Parmelee 0 for 2. Strikeout, fly to left. Strike 1. Nine in a row retired by Felix Hernandez. Matching his best earliest stretch to start the ball game. One. How about that pitch? Ball and 2 strikes. And Chris Parmelee. Mariners haven't played. Shading towards left center with Saunders over that way. The 1-2 pitch. Short hop. Ryan stays with it and throws him out. A 1-2-3 inning in the 7th. Felix has retired 10 in a row. He's run a strikeout total to 7, and he's got a 2-0 lead. Brought to you by Washington's Lottery and the Department of Imagination, encouraging you to imagine bigger when you play the lottery. Visit us on Facebook or tweet what you do to Twitter, #IfIWon. Who knows, you might even see your tweet appear on TV during an upcoming game. Glad you're with us. Cinco de Mayo, celebrating the Mexican Army victory over the French back in, I think it was 1863. Big night here in Seattle. A lot of folks on hand. Felix has a 2-0 lead. New pitcher for Minnesota. It's Anthony Swarzak.
Numbers for Swarzak: 4.64 ERA. 0-3 record so far. 21 in the third inning. Just 11 strikeouts. Yes, he throws strikes. Only 3 walks for him. He's given up 5 home runs this year.
First hitter will be Mike Carp. Oof, boy, that is a line drive, and I hope that person down in there had the glove up in time. Here's the line on Marquis.
6 innings pitched, 4 hits, just 4 hits. Did have 6 walks, so the Mariners come up with 2 runs. Both of them earned. 94 pitches for Marquis.
Carp tonight 0 for 2. Back to the strike. Up high to Carp. You called this early, Mike. Marquis, the 94 pitches he threw, just 47 for strikes.
Yeah, he was going to live off the plate and try to work on the movement of his pitches. Again, a great 2-seam fastball from Marquis, and hoping to expand the strike zone and get the Mariner hitters to chase some pitches, which he did. He was able to accomplish that to a point, though. They still showed enough patience to get 6 walks off of him. When we go back and look at it, one of those walks ended up scoring on the base hit from Seager, the walk to each one.
2-2 to Carp, up high, full count. Carp, Saunders, and Ackley, 8, 9, and 1. And Carp's aboard. Leadoff walk here in the 7th. Fine start here for the Mariners. Hey, it's time to be taken out to the ball game in style. A wide range of Mariner premium seating is available for all games this season, including Diamond Club seats behind home plate and 20-person private suites, perfect for hosting a party at the ballpark. For more info and premium seating options at Safeco Field, go to mariners.com/premium. Michael Saunders.
I think Swarzak throwing over to first to see if Saunders was going to give away if he was bunting or not. He didn't show anything. See what Eric Wedge wants to do. See if he wants to try to add onto that lead by sacrificing in this situation or go for a little bit bigger inning. Let Saunders swing.
Bunt, a beauty.
Base hit.
First and second for the Mariners.
Beauty was correct. Hey, that is perfect textbook. Michael Saunders ends up getting a base hit in a sacrifice situation.
See if they can cash in now.
Take a look at it. Michael is an excellent bunter. Of course, he has above average speed. It's really a good play by Valencia, the third baseman, but when he gets it close to the line the way that he did, and Valencia coming in, he was playing up for the bunt. Michael's still able to beat it out. We'll see if they try it again.
So Mike Carp has been lifted for pinch runner. Casper Wells will stay on in left field. Casper about 5 or 6 steps faster than Mike. Saunders can run, so you got 2 good runners out there. Nobody out. Top of the order. Here's Ackley.
Casper also a better defender. Eric Wedge probably with this lead was going to have him going for defense anyway, so may as well take advantage of his speed now that he's out at second base.
Ackley tonight ground out to third, a walk, infield hit, a run scored. Felix Hernandez hoping that the offense can click again. Seager with a 2-out, 2-run single in the 6th. Has him up 2-0. Shows bunt, takes a ball, 2-1.
Looks like Dustin caught a break. That was a pretty good pitch. There's Diaz, the home plate umpire, calling it a ball.
Anthony Swarzak out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Born there, still lives there. 6'4", 209, 26 years old. Parts of the 09 and 11 seasons with Minnesota. 2-1 is the count. 3-1. Fourth time the Mariners have had runners at first and second, 1 out or less. Into double plays 3 times. A 3-1 pitch here to Ackley. Bases are loaded for Brendan Ryan. A walk to Ackley.
The previous 21 innings that Swarzak had pitched, he'd only walked 3 batters, and now he's walked 2 here in this inning. Mariners benefiting from a couple of the close calls on the plate. Laz Diaz giving the Mariners the benefit of the doubt.
So you got double-barreled action out there. You got Maloney and Gray warming up. Matt Maloney and Jeff Gray. Jeff Gray formerly with the Mariners. Spend less on your commute and more time relaxing with Sound Transit. Visit soundtransit.org for details. A great opportunity here for Brendan Ryan. Dustin Ackley t-shirt night. Kids waving them, trying to inspire and charge up these Mariners. And what an opportunity here for Ryan. Successful in his last time up with the sacrifice bunt. He's up here now with bases loaded, infield in close, nobody out. Gave it a rip.
That's a great speed on the bases. The infield up, that'll create some holes for you on the ground. Really cutting down the range of the infielders by bringing them up.
Ryan 0 for 2 in bases loaded situations thus far. Looking for a big cha-ching right here. 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Inning started with Karp drawing a walk. Saunders a bunt. Walk to Ackley. 1-1 to Brendan Ryan. 2-1.
These are the critical at-bats that Eric Wedge has been talking about. Get into this game, you have a 2-0 lead. As we know, 2 runs, anything can happen. You can really break this thing open here with Felix on the mound.
Two-1 from Swarzak to Ryan. 2-2. Brendan Ryan batting second spot in the order. Coming off a nice night last night. 2 hits. And ending a run of 0 for 26. Trying to give Felix some more help. 2-2. This will get the job done and then some. A high drive deep left center field. Willingham makes the catch. Wells scores. Saunders tags. He goes to third. Brendan Ryan gets the job done, picks up the run with the sac fly. Mariners have a 3-0 lead. For Ryan, RBI number 5.
And really a good at-bat from Brendan Ryan. Swarzak getting away from his fastball, throwing in more breaking balls. Brendan had already swung through one. This one's in the middle of the plate. Brendan Ryan stays on it long enough to hit a deep fly ball out into the left field. It's a productive out for Brendan.
So Scott Ulger, acting manager for the Twins, coming out to make a pitching change. It's Matt Maloney. The Mariners were in the home 7th. 1 out, runners at the corners. And the hitter's going to be Ichiro, who'll face new left-hander Matt Maloney on a fun night here in Seattle. 3 runs on 5 hits. No runs, 1 hit. Felix Hernandez has retired the last 10 men that he's faced. Saunders at 3rd, Ackley at 1st. Strike 1 to Ichiro. Ichiro tonight a walk, hit into a double play and a walk. Matt Maloney taking over. To the gap. Everybody runs. Saunders will score. Here comes Ackley to 3rd. He's going to score. Ichiro cruising into 3rd. A stand-up 2-run triple. 5-0 Seattle. Just what the doctor ordered. Felix has got some runs. 5-0 Mariners. Ichiro picking up a couple of RBIs. Number 11 and number 12.
And just the classic swing from Ichiro. Gets a pitch down in the zone. Hammers it into the right center field gap. Talking about trying to put the game away, breaking it open. Ichiro may have done it right there with that hit into the gap. Ackley able to score easily from first. Ichiro ends up with a triple.
Dugout loving it. Ichiro with his team-leading 2nd triple of the season. Well, that baby came in real handy.
Well, and the great news is still just 1 out. Now you have Ichiro at 3rd. 76 career triple for him. Gray will take over the right-hander to pitch to Montero, who is waiting on deck. The Mariners still able to add to the lead that they already have.
That was a welcome sight. A couple of men on. A gapper. Ichiro with a hit tonight gets him up to 36, team leader there, among the top 10 in the American League. Matter of fact, started the day third.
Numbers for Jeff Gray: a 1.69 ERA, 10 2/3 inning, 6 strikeouts, 8 walks. He has been wild. Opponents average just 179.
Gray taking over, the former Mariner, and a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Jeff Gray takes over. Jesus Montero will be his first hitter. Montero 1 for 3 tonight.
Take a look at Gray. Gray's fastball likes to throw his two-seamer, a little sink to his fastball. It'll be around 93 miles an hour. Also throws a hard slider. Twins will bring their infield up again. Again, just 1 out here in the inning.
Montero will be the 6th hitter in the inning. 5-0 lead. Big hits this evening. Outside to Montero. Mariners jumping on this Twins bullpen. At the end of the bat, 1-1. Sight for sore eyes. Mariners trying to end the 7-game losing streak.
Great to see some crooked numbers up on the board.
1-1 from Gray to Montero. His head pulled way out, 1-2.
Yeah, he ended up chasing a couple of sliders that were down and away from him.
Jeff Gray had some up and down moments with the Mariners. 1-2 here to Montero. Popped up, playable for first baseman Parmalee. 2 outs. Well, here's Seager, and he got the Mariners on the board with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Singled in 2 runs to give the Mariners their 2-0 lead. Nice to see some add-on here in the 7th. That was back in the 6th inning when he came up big.
Kyle going about his business quietly. What do you know? Leads the club in RBIs now. It's 14.
Here's a drive deep to right. Way back. Way out of here. Home run. Kyle Seager. 2-run shot. And the Mariners have a 7-0 lead. He's on fire. 2 swings, 4 ribbies for Seager. Home run number 4. He's got 16 RBIs now.
And when he hits them, there isn't much doubt about it. He hit this one deep into the seats out in the right field. Jumps on a first pitch fastball. 93 miles an hour in the middle of the plate.
395 feet. So Felix, beneficiary a couple starts ago. They got him 9 runs. He's got 7 here, and he's on fire himself. He's retired the last 10 men that he's faced. There's a strike to Jason. 0-2. home run, 26th hit by the Mariners. This early part of the season. 1-2 from Jeff Gray. .24 games last year for Gray. 4.89 ERA, a hole-in-one record. Jaso trying to keep this inning alive. Jaso, the 8th hitter here in the 7th inning. Bouncing ball down to Carroll. Maybe throws over and that'll do it. But the Mariners super productive as they put a big 5 spot. You heard correctly, a 5 spot on the board. They give Felix a 7-0 lead. How sweet is this swing from Kyle Seager? Well, the Mariners were looking for some night moves from Kyle Seager, and he comes up big.
Kyle Seager, just an outstanding evening again. We were talking about it at the beginning of the game. He's probably, out of all the young guys that we consistently talk about, he has been the most consistent hitter out of the group. What a great approach he's had at the plate. Showed some power in spring training. We're all wondering if it would translate into the regular season. Well, he has 4 home runs now and leads this club in RBIs with 16.
Keyword is everyday play. Well, every day.
Every day.
Every day, somewhere in there. Jasper Wells taking over in left field. Felix on a roll. A hit 0-2 to Valencia. Felix has retired the last 10 men that he's faced. Boy, kick saving a beauty by Montero. Henrik Lundqvist of the New York Rangers. My goodness. Good save. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Felix Hernandez. It's 11 in a row retired.
Again for Felix, just on top of his game, and at this point with a huge lead, he will be aggressive to the finish line. That's a breaking ball. Valencia just waves at it. Again, Montero has done a good job tonight of keeping the ball in front of him, the ball down in the zone. Not necessarily an easy task with the amount of movement that Felix gets on all of his pitches.
Hitters Eric Komatsu, 0-for-2, ground out the second, fly to left.
Next pitch will be 100 for Felix.
One. Felix has been brilliant tonight. Home run by Seager gives the Mariners 7 home runs in 11 home games. 8-7. It's the second most runs the Mariners have scored at home this season. They put up 8 in a 9-8 loss to Cleveland. But he had it. Two-one pitch. It's out of play. 2-2. Unsung hero Brendan Ryan, sacrifice to move a runner over in the 6th. That runner scored, got a sac fly in the 7th. Ichiro, 2-run triple. Seager's banged in 4 runs tonight.
How about Ackley? He's been on base 3 times in the leadoff spot this
Yes,
evening.
sir. Fouled back. Ackley with a walk, an infield hit, a run scored, a walk, and a run scored. A lot of good stuff. And Kyle Seager, big kahuna tonight. Put down Ackley, surrounds, and throws out Hustling Komatsu.
Take another look at the swing by Kyle Seager on a fastball up.
That was good extension, follow through on that swing.
I think he's having a good time playing this game right now.
And we're having a good time watching him play too. Let me tell you, 7-0 Mariners. Felix has retired the last 12 men that he's faced. Alexi Casilla, the hitter right now. Felix has given up 1 hit. Denard Span, 4th inning leadoff single to right. Just pumping in strikes.
How about first pitch strikes tonight? 27 batters faced 21 first pitch strikes from Felix.
Cha-ching.
I think that with all this great stuff that we're seeing from the offense tonight, let's not forget, this was a tight ball game through 5 innings, actually through 6 innings.
0-2. He went. Good night. Strikeout number 9. 13 in a row. Retired by the King. Through 8, it's 7-0 Mariners. Done for Felix Hernandez. 61st time he's gone 8 or more innings. 9 strikeouts. He retired the last 13 men that he faced. 3 off his season high of 12 strikeouts against Cleveland. here at Safeco Field on April 19th. Brilliant performance, and nice to have some offense backing him tonight.
Well, I can tell you this. It was a tight ball game through the first 6 innings of it. And you need your horse to go out there and shut things down when they haven't gone particularly well over the last week. And that's exactly what he did. He just had a presence about him right from the first pitch. Unfortunately for him, it took a little while, but the guys came through and scored some runs. Ended up with plenty of run support, and his night looks like he is finished for the evening.
Delabar warming up for the Mariners. New pitcher for Minnesota is Alex Burnett.
Numbers for Burnett: ERA just over 3, 14 2/3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks. He's given up a couple of home runs this year. Does not have a record.
One and two to Smoke. Smoke, Wells, and Saunders, 7, 8, 9 here in the 8th inning.
There's Steve Delabar, hard throwing right-hander.
One, two. Don't forget to stay with us for the post-game show. Brett Adam, Dave Valley, Angie Mentink. We'll hear from Felix Hernandez, Kyle Seager, and others. 2 and 2 here to Smoke. Popped it up. Doman is there for the play. 1 out. Good crowd, 28,437. Dustin Ackley t-shirt night. And they have been entertained. Felix Hernandez, 9 strikeouts. 1 hit through 8. 1 hit shutout. Kyle Seager's driven in 4. Wells came into the game in the 7th inning as a pinch runner for Mike Carter. Scored on the Ryan sacrifice. One. Outside. Casper Wells trying to get his offense going. He's been moving up the ladder. Starts today at 2-4. 2-1.
He's chased a couple of high fastballs in this at bat. See if he can get that fastball down. Place in an area where he can handle it below his belt.
There's Chambliss and a skipper Eric Wedge. Breathing a lot easier, closing in on ending the 7-game losing streak. Fly ball right field for Komatsu. Foul territory. Makes the catch.
Look at the work from Felix Hernandez tonight. 8 innings pitched, just the 1 hit. He was outstanding. A couple of walks. They came back in the 4th inning, but 9 strikeouts on 107 pitches. He was working ahead in the count all night long, really making it tough on the Twins. And yes, plenty of run support for him. Certainly deserves that. Great outing for Felix Hernandez.
Here's Saunders. Laid down a perfect bunt last time up. It's a breaking ball for a strike. Like a 1 for 2. Run scored. Way outside from Burnett. 2-5 with the Twins last year in 66 games, a 5.51 ERA. Born in Anaheim, California, lives in nearby Westminster, California. 12th round pick back in 2005. 1-2. On 2 strikes. Two outs, nobody on. Burnett set 1-2 here to Saunders. Bounces one foul.
Seems like Michael Saunders is seeing a lot of pitches this year, and it's for the right reasons, being aggressive, fouling pitches off. Good to see him get on a good run again. He was hot for a little while and he's cooled off, and he's trying to get it going again. And again, he's just 1 for 2 in tonight's game.
And he strikes out. That'll do it. To the 9th we go. Delabar looking for lockdown duty here in a 7-0 Mariner lead.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Looking for the supermoon tonight. It's going to be real close to Earth. Could be a spectacular show in your skies this evening as it gets a little bit darker. We were 6:10 start time, so we still got a little more daylight left to enjoy here.
Numbers for Steve Delabar, 4.5 ERA for Steve. 17 strikeouts in 14 innings pitched. That's a great number with just 2 walks. Opponents average 196. See those 4 home runs. He gave them up early right out of the gates, and he's been working on his ERA ever since, and finally has it down to 4.5. But he has been punching guys out in regular fashion and has not walked many with just 2 walks.
Top of the order, Denard Span, Jamie Carroll, and Joe Mauer. Man right there. Denard Span has the Twins only hit. 4th inning leadoff single to right. Felix Hernandez, what a night. Retired the last 13 men that he faced. Started out 9 up, 9 down. Check the bottom of the screen. You can text in your favorite thoughts about the game this evening. 1-1 to Span. 1-2.
Delabar with an overpowering fastball. It'll be around 96 miles an hour. mix in a split and slider. Typically throws the slider to the right-handed hitters.
Finale of this series tomorrow. Hector Noesi will be starting for the Mariners against Nick Blackburn. Noesi 1-3, Blackburn 0-3. Tigers come to town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 night games. Here's Hector. Struck him out. 95 miles an hour. Good stuff from Delabar. 1 out. Mariner pitching has hung 10 strikeouts on the Twins tonight. Mariners have had their own struggle striking out. Turnabout tonight, huh? There's Jamie Carroll. Fly to center, sacrifice bunt, fly to right.
For the Mariners, we were talking about the amount of hits they were getting as a club, but tonight they have 3 for 8 with men in scoring position, which included a couple of extra base hits, a triple from Ichiro, a home run from Seager. But they also have 8 walks in the game, and I think that's something that they need to work on to try to get that on base percentage up, help themselves out, give themselves more opportunities. So a good sign.
Seager throws out. Carroll 2 down. Yeah, you were talking about that on base percentage today. What, 4th in hits?
Right. 13th in average, and they were 13th at the time in on base percentage.
Right, and walks weren't good.
No, walks were down. So that's a good sign.
Strikeouts were way up. 2 outs here in the 9th. Delabar to face Joe Mauer. This time Delabar squaring off against Joe Mauer. Felix controlled Mauer here today. 0 for 3, and Mauer came in with great numbers. 13 for 26, 2 homers and 7 ribbies against Felix. Good job by Felix tonight.
Hit the ball off of him one time that was hard. It was his first time up a line drive that Felix was able to catch. Hit it right back at him.
He's going right after him. 0-2. The K cards, the Dustin Ackley t-shirts. 28,437 have had a lot to enjoy here tonight. The 0-2 to Mauer. Backs him off the plate. 1-2. Great night for the Mariners. Strike away from victory. Pitch from Delabar to Mauer. Bounced it up there. 2-2. Ichiro, 2-run triple in the big 7th inning. Mariners scored 5 times to blow it open. Two and 2 outs, nobody on. Pitch from Delabar. Fouled off. Kids here in attendance, and look forward to seeing more of you tomorrow. 110. Weather's supposed to be good tomorrow. Next couple of days. Delabar set. 2-2 to Mauer. Up high. Full count. Josh Willingham's on deck. Held the Twins to just 1 hit. Our 3-time batting champion, a 3-2 pitch. Foul back.
Another good fastball. be a great battle. 8th pitch of this at bat coming up. Delabar trying to climb the ladder on Maurer with a good fastball at 95 miles an hour.
Three and two to Joe Maurer. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 9th. Mariners up big. Hits. Ground ball to second. This will do it. Ackley to Smoke. And it's over. It's all over. The 7-game losing streak is in the books. The Mariners win it 7-0. As Felix Hernandez and Steve Delabar combined for a 1-hit shutout. Kyle Seager, the big hitting story and star, with 4 runs batted in. A 2-run single in the 6th with 2 outs and a 2-run homer.
Well, you mentioned that there were a lot of guys that contributed to the win today, but I think the biggest thing is Mariners on a losing streak. They needed their big man, King Felix, on the hill to really pitch well, and he did that through the first 6 innings. A close ball game until the Mariners could finally break through with a couple of runs. And how about Kyle Seager? Once again coming up with a couple of big hits. The first hit to drive in 2 runs to get the Mariners on the scoreboard when things were really moving along slowly for them, and then finishes it with a 2-run home run from Kyle Seager. Hits it deep into the seats in right field. Just a pretty swing on a first pitch fastball. 93 miles an hour up in the zone above the belt, and he rides it out of here. I think they have a good one in that young man.
Kyle Seager running his RBI total to 16 with his 4th home run. Let's get down to Angie Mintek standing by with Kyle Seager.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Kyle, I'm going to take these one at a time. We keep hearing Eric Wedge scream about professional at-bats. Your at-bat in the 6th inning, 2-0 count, your approach, the situation. Tell me about your professional at-bat.
Well, you know, he's got really good swing, so, you know, he's a guy who got to get up in the zone, and, you know, the first 2 pitches were down, and, you know, luckily for me, I got one up in the zone.
All right, Dave Valley is going to love this on the postgame show, because in your very next at-bat, you jump all over the first pitch, and he says you can have a professional at-bat that way, too. All right, so what did you get that you liked so much?
Well, that was a fastball, and, you know, that was Gray, and he was here last year, and, you know, I know he had really good stuff, and I figured if I let one get by, then I'd probably be in trouble. So, you know, with him, you got to be real aggressive.
Kyle, this game was so tight into the 6th inning. What has this team learned over the last few games that allowed them to stay in this game and then blow it open?
You know, I mean, we've gotten hits the last couple of games. You know, we just haven't gotten hits. We score in position. So, I mean, the way our pitchers have been throwing, you know, the way Felix was tonight, I mean, we got to get a few runs across for him for sure.
I was just going to ask you about that because Felix Hernandez has been so good, and this one was so tight. What are you guys saying to each other in the dugout late in this game? Because he's pitched so well this season but hasn't had a whole lot to show for it.
Yeah, you know, we're saying we got to get it done. You know, I mean, he's been amazing all year. You know, all our pitchers have been throwing the ball real well. You know, we just haven't been giving them the run support that they deserve. So, thankfully, we did tonight.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And, guys, I think we have our sort of a blueprint, if you will, for textbook professional at-bats. Yeah, done.
Yep, thank you, Angie, very much. Yeah, we saw one in the 6th, one in the 7th. And how about Dave Valley getting